Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today, we are talking Love is Blind US Season 7, and we've got a lot to get into, so we're just going to run through all of the couples, because it's been something, right? It has been something. First and foremost, the couple Monica and Steven. So first and foremost, it's in DC this year. Lots of melanated people, which I'm excited about, which I'm happy about. However, I don't know if everybody's necessarily compatible, so we got to get into it. So Monica and Steven, I don't know if they're gonna get married. Steven, I guess, discovered within the past couple of years that he has black ancestry, but he looks like Blake Griffin to me. But I was offended because he called Monica a mutt, and she agreed and did not take any offense to it at all. And I can't tell if she genuinely likes him or not, right? I feel like she might be putting on for the cameras. I can't confirm exactly. I don't know. I just feel like he's not what she expected, but I feel like she's gonna like go the course anyways. I don't know. That's like the vibes I'm getting, because after they released 6 episodes, and after the meet and greet with the other couples, it was weird because they were trying to like gossip basically about the other couples, but then Monica had a moment where she was like, you don't let me get a word in, and just put the tortilla chips in your mouth and just chew them so I can say something. And I was like, what? So I don't think she really likes him like that. I just think they're just passing time. But nonetheless, that was very odd. That was very interesting. Another couple that I am a little weirded out by is the tomfoolery that's taking place with Leo and Brittany. So that was a whole saga because it was like a love square. And I think honestly, they just chose each other because, in Leo's case, he was trying to manipulate Hannah into doing what he wanted. And basically, he didn't want to he didn't want to leave out here with nothing, as Denzel would say, right? He didn't want to leave out here with nothing. And, but I knew the moment that Brittany saw him, she was not going to be attracted to him, right? And so it was just awkward. And Leo was so awkward. He was so annoying. Like some of these men this season, their whole identity is about growing up with a silver spoon or inheriting their parents' business and never having to want for money. And it's like, are you familiar what's going on in the country and the economy and the average salary of the people and how many people barely are making ends meet and all the things? And you want to get on here and brag about money and your privilege? Really? It was just so tone deaf, right? And then Leo's, showing off this Rolex to the people. And it's like, but then you keep saying, oh, I don't want people to just look at me for my money or use me for my money. But you lead with your financial success as if you were not interesting without it, which explains why you're still single, regardless of how successful you are as an art dealer. You have a lot of growth to do as far as communication goes, as far as expressing yourself goes, as far as the gaslighting and the manipulation goes. You are not ready for marriage, let alone a relationship. You are ready for therapy. So glad that, and so then it was funny because they were not one of the 6 couples picked to go to Cabo for the honeymoon. And apparently they decided to still go on a trip anyways. I don't know why, because Brittany was not feeling him at all. And they went to, Miami, and I guess they broke up allegedly a few weeks later. I think they were already broken up. I think they're just saying that to save face, to make it sound like they gave it a try, but I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it. I don't think the moment that Brittany saw Leo, she was not interested. She did not want to continue with the process and all of the things, right? So negator on that, right? And then we have the other side of this, right? We have Hannah and Nick. And Nick was interesting because Nick was really trying to sell himself as like a hot commodity. I guess Hannah assumed that Nick was going to look like a linebacker for some reason, or look like a NFL, I guess what, quarterback or something. I don't know. She was thinking that he was going to be like all big and muscular, and I said the man said that he was a punter and a kicker. Those are usually the most lean and slim guys in the league. Like what were you expecting? So it was. I think she just had false expectations. I don't know if she thought that Tom Brady was going to be the guy or something along those lines, but like she was super disappointed, I think. And then, and then there was a moment where they're out on their honeymoon, and they're like these little ducks that like you could just like I guess play with in the sand. But Nick decided to make it into a race, and he found this older woman that wanted to race ducks with him. And of course, Hannah felt a certain type of way. I feel like Hannah and Leo should have just paired together because I think it would have just been fun chaos, because you could just tell that Hannah's sole purpose here is to just cut Nick down. And I don't know if this is a thing with people who are significantly taller than like a significant other, especially like on the female side of things. I've never seen this before where it just feels like nothing they're doing is right. And I'm saying this for a reason. Nothing they do is right. Now, I don't feel Nick is all that bad, but I feel like Hannah in the preview for the upcoming episodes is like really putting on and is really putting 20 on 10. So it's like hard for me to like feel sorry for her, like, oh my gosh, because it's like, well, you're doing the most as well, right? So apparently everybody, I think, but one couple has had sex, has consummated their relationship or whatever. And Hannah and Nick apparently don't want to tell the cameras that they did, even though they're whispering on camera that they did have sex. And I guess the rationale is Nick gave some type of speech about how he has a certain brand and a certain reputation, so he rather not discuss on camera. And I'm like, but you kind of are anyways, right? So, because if you're going to say it under your breath amongst other couples, like, what's the point? You're basically confirming that you did something, that something is going on. And so, nonetheless, I don't know. I'm not seeing it for these two. I'm not seeing how this is going to go the distance, because I just feel like it's just very sketchy. And I feel like Hannah is here for the cameras. I feel like Hannah is here for fame, because why do you quit a really good medical device sales job that you travel internationally for, that I know you're making good money for, especially if you are living in the DC, Maryland area? Like, make it make sense. You were trying to become an influencer just like Leo. You and Leo were the same person. You were here for the fame. You were here for, the clout chasing and the influencing and everything that comes with it. And it flopped in your face when you realized you had to put in actual work for your couples. And then Hannah apparently left a 10 bullet point note of all the things she didn't like about Nick and whether she was Delulu. And I'm just like, girl, if you are already doing a 10 bullet point list of things that you do not like about Nick, or that you feel you and him are not compatible about already, maybe that's the sign that this is not going to go the distance, right? So there was that, right? So then we have Taylor and Garrett, who appear to be the only couple who haven't consummated their marriage. Garrett was kind of putting me off a little bit in the beginning, because it seemed as though he was kind of, making a big deal about Taylor's race and ethnicity and all these things, and really wanted to drive home how he's only messed with white women and wasn't sure how he was going to feel if, Taylor wasn't white, and, didn't want to feel manipulated, didn't want to feel gaslit and all these things. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, are you serious right now? Is this the hill that you want to die on? That, if she is not white, it's not going to be right? Like, is this what we're really going to do right now? I mean, listen, As long as somebody is not self-hating, right? Is not self-hating, is not racist, and you connect and you vibe, what is the problem, right? But it just seemed like, he was looking for reasons not to lock this down, not to take this serious until, Taylor called his bluff and called him out and was like, listen, if you're going to play this game where you're going to be obsessed with finding out my race or finding out my real name, which is going to give away that I'm obviously, not from American ancestry, we can keep it pushing. I can go home. I can move on to somebody else and all the things. And then that's when Taylor, decided to, tighten up and, sent over, some flowers and sent over like an old school, hey, will you go out with me? Yes or no? And really stepped it up. Now, apparently they still haven't consummated the marriage. I don't know. It seems like something weird is going to go on. Per the previews, it seems like, Garrett still might be involved or in contact with AX or potentially messing with somebody from the pods. We're going to have to wait and see what comes of that. But it's giving sketchy. It's giving like he's trying so hard to appear to be a good guy for the cameras. And usually those are the most menacing ones. Usually those are the ones that are doing the most off camera and are a complete and utter train wreck because it just doesn't seem like Taylor's comfortable around him. She does a good job of like acting, right? Because they both are good looking people, right? So therefore she can act the part, but you could just tell that she's not all in it. But I feel like they're just doing just enough to just, to get to decision day, right? To get to the wedding day. And then they're going to say deuces. But who knows if they're even going to get to the wedding? Because I don't know. These couples are like super duper messy. I love the friendship and the bond among the women. I thought it was cute. They wanted to have like a little interrogation of all the men and stuff. And have the men say what they liked about their girls and stuff. I thought that was cute. Then we have Alex and Tim. Oh my gosh. So say no to black love as it pertains to this couple, you guys. Cause it's not no. So apparently I got the vibe even in the pods that there might be some anger issues with Alexis. Or not Alexis, her name's Alex, but I don't know why I want to call her Alexis. Alex. I just got this vibe that like she likes to go back and forth. Just to go back and forth. Like, I don't know if that's like something that like she gets off on or that she finds entertaining or if she's just used to like volatile and dysfunctional relationships with people. But I peeped game that Tim really wasn't feeling Alex when he saw her. Because when he kept making the comments about my dogs and my dog's this and my dog's that, after Alex told him that she was not interested in these dog jokes and you my dog and this and that, I was like, yeah. I was like, he's not feeling her. He's not interested. But he doesn't know how far this is going to go before ultimately, this is going to go left, which I knew it was going to go left immediately. Because if you have to give a disclaimer about, 20 on 10 and what that's going to look like and what your 20 on 10 is versus somebody else's 20 on 10 and how you're not going to, basically Tim said, listen, we're not going to be out here, making a big deal out of small stuff. We're not going to be out here, turning everything into a huge deal for the littlest of things. And I was like, oh, you check out. You're going to be checked out pretty quickly because this girl seems like she's not about that life. She makes it seem like if she wants to nitpick, she's going to nitpick. If she wants to say something, she's going to say it. She, just like I guess apparently she was dragging his fashion. I don't even know. I don't even know how somebody you've just met barely 24 hours how you're going to change up their whole wardrobe, right? But nonetheless, she was not happy with this wardrobe. She was not happy with what he was choosing at the souvenir shop. And, and then he made a comment that, like, this was, like, the first time, like, we could actually laugh. I wasn't sure whether or not I could laugh with you. And I was like, I'm not feeling this couple. I don't even think this couple's going to make it to the altar. I am not seeing it, right? And so they did a good job of like pretending to seem like things were good and on the up and up, but it just seemed like they were just hiding their real issues off camera. And apparently it wasn't captured, but Monica said that the vibe was off, the energy was off with them, especially towards the end of the pool party with all the other couples. And we didn't see any of this. And I thought this was supposed to be a reality show, but it's clear these producers protect who they want to protect. So, at the end of the 6th episode, it was like a lot of this awkward tension, and not in a good way, between Tim and Alex, and he's coming into the hotel room as if he didn't even sleep there the other night, and I was like, this is only the first night of the honeymoon, like, what in the heck? And so he's up here talking about how he didn't like how he was talked to, didn't like how he was treated, how he felt he was disrespected. Something happened to where Alex basically said, F it, I'm just going to take a shower and go to bed. And then something happened to where Tim, I guess, must have asked her why she's being distant or why she's not saying anything. And then World War III erupt, except where we all have to use our imagination as to what World War III actually was, because none of us know what actually took place. None of us have any idea what actually happened. So, nonetheless, we are playing Blue's Clues, we are playing Scooby-Doo, we are playing Law and Order, because we do not know what happened, but basically what it sounds like, according to Tim, is whatever they argued about, it got so escalated to the point that there was name calling, number one, and number two, Alex at some point put her hand over Tim's mouth, I guess in hopes that was going to shut him up. And I was like, oh my. And she's taller than him, right? She's taller than him, and I think he might be scared of her. Like real talk. This man's story is about, he's lost his 2 sisters. I believe at least one was due to complications of sickle cell. And, when they were trying to relay this argument back and what took place, I was like, there's no way they're making it down the aisle. And Alex kept asking him, for forgiveness, if he was going to come back, if they were going to continue to sleep in separate bedrooms. And she tried to have him come over to pull in for a hug, and he was like, H-E-double-L, no. And then she's trying to pull over to him, trying to kiss all over him, and I was like, girl, you need to go to anger management. like screw the experiment, and you're talking about how you want to see the experiment all the way through. Not if you're up here just putting your hands on people. Make it make sense. How are you just out here putting hands on people, let alone a stranger you don't even know 24 hours, and having the audacity? But the other side of it too is we don't have context of what the heck happened. What was the argument about, and how did it go from 0 to 100 real quick that you have to put your hand over somebody's mouth? What? What is taking place? I truly think, Alex, Love is Blind is not for you. You need counseling, you need therapy, because I was peeping game that you get easily agitated. And you get easily irritated with the littlest things. And for some reason, I don't understand why some people think that it's a way of flirting or some type of a way of attraction to just constantly nitpick and attack somebody. And think that is going to be the dream marriage for somebody. Wouldn't you be miserable if somebody is just dragging you 24/7? Somebody is just coming for you 24/7? No. Not it. Not it, you guys. So we got a couple more couples to get to. And so we'll get to Ramses and Marissa. Ramsey and Marissa. They kept talking. So I'm guessing he has some type of Spanish ancestry, because Marissa kept talking in Spanish or saying things in Spanish that she was trying to translate. It seems like, because she was in a love triangle as well, but there's rumors that the person she was in a love triangle with may have some ABUSE allegations. Well, I guess we'll see, because they end up meeting, of course, later on in the season when everybody gets to meet all of the other pod bays, right? and pod situationships, right? And so, nonetheless, Ramses and Marissa, it seems like they have a very strong physical connection. They have a lot of sexual chemistry. They both are pretty people. It even seems like Marissa's into some of the freaky deaky because she was up here talking about how all the couples can be swingers together. And I was like, what is taking place? I'm like, this is not Love is Swinging. This is Love is Blind. So what is taking place right now? But, I don't know whether or not this couple's going to make it. I feel like they might, but I feel like there's going to be some tomfoolery because I just feel like there's something about Ramses that is just red flags, extravaganza. But I feel like Marissa's so sweet that she's going to overlook it and try to see the bigger picture that this is her man, right? Because he blew her back out. So therefore, she's going to ignore some of these red flags and think that this is normal. But we're going to monitor this closely because I just feel like sometimes when people just dive in to the physical connection so soon and they don't fully know each other, I feel like then that's when any type of little problem can be maximized to something major. And so I am going to be keeping a close eye on this couple because yeah, they seem cute. Also, Marissa does not deserve hate for choosing who she chose. A lot of you wanted her to choose the other guy, but nonetheless, you can't help sometimes who you fall for. And the other piece is if other guys recognize sooner, hey, I love you, hey, I want to commit to you, you can't be just still stringing along the other person if they're dragging their feet. This is an accelerated process, right? And it's obvious producers are looking for certain aesthetics of these couples to be in love, to really move forward with the journey. And if you're not looking like you're moving forward with the journey, you're going to get cut. But we will see, like I said, what'll ultimately happen. And the final couple, the only couple that I'm sure of, like 99.9% sure of, that it actually is going to work, that actually is going to get married, unless they're scamming us, unless they are, making us fall for the okie doke, unless we are falling for a trap, is Ashley A. and Tyler, you guys. They are so cute. Do not get mad at me, but Tyler to me looks like Al Reynolds, and I cannot unsee it, you guys. Especially if you look at some of his older photos on social media, it looks directly like Al Reynolds. Like, I cannot unsee it. I was looking at him for the longest time because there's also, I think, an athlete. There's an NBA player he looks like too. But once I saw Al Reynolds, I was like, that's it. That is who he looks like, and that is why I cannot unsee it. But I was, from their first conversation on, I was all in. Because I was like, he's saying all the right things. He's doing all the right things. He's a true, I don't know if he's love bombing. I don't know. Like, I hope that he's a genuine good guy, because he reminded me so much of like the vibes that Brett was giving with Tiffany, of how like he's just really intentional and how he really wants, this to be the one and the real deal and all the things. So I'm really hoping that this is coming from a genuine place, that he really is, saying everything that he means, and that this isn't just lip service, and that this isn't just to be on TV or just to go through the process of the show, that this genuinely it is for real. So we're going to have to monitor that and see. But all of the vibes, their date was cute. I loved that the date that they had in the pods of listening to each other's Spotify playlist. I think it's so cute how emotional Tyler gets, because a lot of times men, don't always like to show their emotions. And I thought it was so cute of just how easily, impacted and affected that he can get off of like the littlest of things. And I thought it was so cute because he fell first and she fell harder. Like, it was, he was just all in. He is so smitten with Ashley A, and I just really hope that they can make it work and they can figure it out, because I think they're cute. I think they're heavily attracted to each other. I think they're downplaying whatever they're doing behind closed doors, which is their prerogative, which is their right. But I think it's on and popping. I think it's on and popping, and I think they're very happy together, you guys. But I wish we saw more, and this is the problem that I have. every time there's seemingly a normal couple who does not have too much drama going on, we do not get their screen time. Why did the show focus on Leo and Brittany so much, and they weren't even one of the final 6 couples? I was like, this is way too many episodes in the pod. Some of the other international versions have gotten it right, where it's like no more than 3 episodes anymore of the pods, because really, how many episodes do you need? And do you not have content for the rest of the season if we had to stretch out the pods for 5.5 episodes? No. Well, technically 4.5, but it felt like almost all 6 episodes was all pods, which is crazy because that's half the season. So we'll continue, like I said, to watch. This show. I go back and forth on this show because the success rate is just such a disaster as of late. Because these are the same producers as Married at First Sight, and it just feels like after the first couple of seasons where it's like the most authentic, once more people like get wind of the show and get wind of like whether or not people become popular off the show, it's like I feel like so many people who are just wannabe influencers are applying, or these producers are lazy and just like search people's Instagram and all of these things, and it's like we've got to do better. We've got to do better and casting the right people for these shows. So I don't know, out of the 6 couples, I feel like I'm leaning towards maybe 2 people may get married. I would be shocked if it's 3, but I am waiting for these update accounts, especially on TikTok, because TikTok will be on it. They will have the marriage license by the end of the week, you guys, on who got married, who didn't, who registered to get married, and all the things, who applied for the marriage license. They will have all of the tea, right, before the end of the week. And if they do, I will do a spoiler video to reveal the information, because I need to know whether or not I'm wasting my time. And by wasting my time, if it means being invested in Ashley and Tyler, because everybody else, it really can be a toss-up as far as I'm concerned. But then there's just some definite no's that clearly, production saw an opportunity that was like, hey, this couple is potential for conflict, not necessarily love, but let's follow their journey anyways, like they do on Married at First Sight. So I peeped game for sure, because other couples always come out and say that they've gotten engaged or whatever, they had a connection, and they don't make the show. And I'm like, oh, you were not wild enough. You were not crazy enough, right? There's only one slot for the boring happy couple, and it can't be you. Right. So that was kind of my review, my reaction. The next set of episodes are slated to drop next Wednesday, of course, 3 a.m. Eastern. So we're going to see what happens for the rest of the honeymoon. And I presume initially meeting each other's families and friends and trying to adapt to regular life, but I already feel like a few couples are on the brink of breaking up already. So we're going to continue to monitor, but like I said, I'm rooting hard for Ashley A and Tyler. They seem the most solid. Like I said, I want to root for Ramis and Marissa, but I feel like it's so much like a physical attraction right now. I just don't know, like, once that fades and they get into like the real issues, if it's going to go the test of time. And Monica, I feel like she's just putting on a front and isn't really into Blake Griffin like that, but is trying her best to just try to make it seem like she is, to just get through it so that it's not a failure for her. But when you see her interact with the other couples and react to the other couples, you can see the shift that like she would have preferred to have one of the suitors that some of these other ladies had. But nonetheless, there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.